In the middle of the Caribbean Sea, a family was enjoying their vacation on a yacht. Julia, the mother, decided to take a swim. While relaxing in the water, she felt something strange. At first, she thought it was just her imagination. But a few seconds later, the same unsettling feeling returned. Still, there was nothing visible around her. Panic set in, and she started swimming back toward the yacht. Suddenly, someone grabbed her leg, and she screamed for help. Her daughter, Cassie, was wearing headphones, listening to music, and didn't hear a thing. Her husband, Tom, and son, Ben, were busy fishing. Julia struggled to stay afloat, but swallowing water made it hard to scream. After a few tense moments, Tom realized he hadn't seen Julia for a while. He ran toward her direction on the yacht and saw her in danger. He called the kids, jumped into the water, reached Julia, and helped her swim back to the yacht. The children pulled both of them on board. The family tended to Julia, though she convinced herself that it was likely just the waves causing trouble. That night, they celebrated Ben's birthday. Cassie received a call from her boyfriend and stepped outside with her laptop. On the video call, he showed her massive black clouds covering the city. Then the call glitched and froze. Concerned, Cassie went back to tell the family, but Tom dismissed it, assuming the signal was weak so far from land. Suddenly, a strange sound echoed across the water. The family went outside and saw a group of whales passing by. Tom explained that whales normally follow Earth's magnetic fields, but storms can confuse them. Abruptly, the yacht shook violently and Ben fell. Concerned about damage, Tom dived into the water to check beneath. When he resurfaced, he had a deep wound on his shoulder. Julia quickly stitched it. Tom explained that underwater, it felt like something enormous had been behind him. When he turned, he had been cut by the propeller. He emphasized that whatever it was, it had to be huge. Seeing serious damage to the yacht, the family realized they needed help. Julia tried the radio repeatedly, while Cassie searched for a signal on her phone. Without luck. Suddenly, Cassie spotted something strange and screamed, but it was just Ben wearing a mask, playing a prank. Soon, the yacht was completely stranded in the middle of the sea. Julia tried communicating over the radio, but the signal was indecipherable. Tom warned the family they had only 4 days of food and water left and would have to wait for a fishing boat. Suddenly, the radar detected something, and a strange sound reached them. Rushing outside, they were shocked to see meteors crashing to the ground, causing massive explosions wherever they hit. One meteor fell into the water near the yacht. Tom tried to start the engine, which barely worked, but another meteor struck the area. The family clung to each other in fear. Tom then realized that the fireballs weren't meteors. They were satellites burning up in the atmosphere. Smoke started rising from the yacht. Tom checked the engine and confirmed it was damaged. With the wind growing stronger, the family hid inside, unaware that the compass was spinning wildly. The yacht shook violently, and Ben fell again, this time getting hurt. The waves smashed against the yacht as Tom struggled outside to grab life jackets. Suddenly, the power went out. Tom pressed the power box, restoring light. Ben noticed blood flowing from Julia's nose, and she started feeling dizzy, while Cassie vomited into the sink. Tom tried the radio again, but there was no signal. A high-pitched sound pierced the air, making the wind even stronger. Julia tried to close the doors, but a hatch burst open, breaking the windows. Tom fired a flare, and darkness soon fell over them. The next morning, the family woke up in shock. They had survived the storm, but the yacht was half destroyed. When they went outside, the sea had receded, leaving the yacht stranded on dry land. Cassie checked for a signal, but the network was completely down. Ben played with two dead crabs. Tom examined the compass, noticing it had reversed, something that hadn't happened in 700,000 years. Cassie feared her boyfriend had died, breaking down in tears. Julia tried to console her, but Cassie pushed her away and hid. Julia and Tom checked their remaining supplies. Ben tied his birthday balloons to a stone, hoping a survivor might see them. Tom tried the radio again, and finally reached a man named Now, a submarine captain whose own submarine was stranded on land. He confirmed the magnetic poles had reversed, causing the oceans to retreat and land to flood. Now said he hadn't seen any other survivors, and all communication systems were down. He warned that the poles would reverse again, and the ocean might return in about a week. He told the family to get to higher ground for safety. His partner had died in a crash, and his submarine could only carry 3 people. Julia and Tom begged him to save their children, and he gave them coordinates. Tom calculated it would take 2 to 3 days to reach the submarine, and told the family to rest that night. The next morning, as they packed, Tom noticed a limping man with a harpoon and a barking dog. He gave the stranger water, but the man spoke in a language Tom didn't understand. Suddenly, the man struck Tom on the head with the bottle, kicked him in the face, and then stabbed him in the stomach with the harpoon. He killed Tom by cutting his neck. The man chased Julia, injuring her shoulder with the harpoon. Julia ran into the yacht, locking the doors, and told the kids to hide. Cassie and Ben crawled into the sofa, while Julia armed herself with a knife and hid in the bathroom. The intruder forced his way in, rummaging through food, then moved toward the bathroom. Julia escaped through a small hole, but the dog spotted her. She killed it with a knife when it attacked her. The intruder, enraged, tried to grab Julia again. A fierce struggle ensued. Julia was punched, kicked, and pinned, but she fought back. Cassie fired the flare gun, setting the intruder and part of the yacht on fire. Julia kicked him aside, grabbed the bag and map, and fled with her children. Together, they mourned Tom's death before fleeing further as the yacht exploded. They rested near a small waterfall. Cassie wondered if the madman had come because of the balloons, making Ben feel guilty. Julia reassured him and urged them to keep moving. Along the way, Ben saw a dead hammerhead shark, shocking him. The madman approached again, and the family ran, sliding down a sand dune where they encountered toxic waste. Carefully, they passed through and observed huge dead sea animals and accumulated ocean plastic. Ben began showing signs of dehydration, and Julia insisted they stop. They discovered most of the water was gone due to Cassie not sealing the bottle properly. Julia scolded her, but Cassie replied, "Does it matter? We aren't going to survive anyway."
The family continued and found a crashed plane. Inside, rustling birds scared them. They decided to spend the night there, sharing a small snack. Julia found a family photo in Tom's jacket and was heartbroken. Cassie asked about their love story, and Julia explained how Tom had once been her patient in the hospital and later confessed his love with flowers and a poem. That night, the madman tried to grab Cassie, but Julia attacked him with a knife, saving her daughter. In the morning, the family noticed insects feeding on his body, hinting at the presence of other dangerous creatures. Crabs crawled out of his corpse as the family moved on. Ben wandered ahead, drinking from a pond, and Julia pulled him out, warning that unknown water could make him sick. They built a temporary shelter from old chairs, and Julia administered an injection to Ben before resting for the night. The next day, Julia woke to strange sounds. A swarm of crabs approached. She woke the kids and they ran to a cargo ship, finding 3 surviving crew members. One woman wanted to help, but the other 2 refused, locking the family outside. The crabs attacked. Julia helped the kids climb a container, but she was bitten on the leg. Firing her gun to defend them, she made it inside safely. The family secured the hatch and watched the crabs from the windows as the ocean returned. They strapped in as the waves violently tossed the submarine. Julia experienced vivid visions of their journey, while Cassie vomited. A high-pitched sound returned, and they briefly lost consciousness. When they awoke, they were alive and unharmed. Unlocking the hatch, they emerged to see the submarine had landed in a ruined city, a chance to survive and begin anew. And that's where the story ends.